All right, welcome everybody to the outdoor kitchen project here at Destination OG in Helen. This is where we're going to build the outdoor kitchen. So we just drove up from Florida with all of our stuff to start to build this. So what I'm going to do in this project, we're going to do this, I think, in 3 different parts. The main that you're watching here now is going to be just the vlog style of us doing the whole project. We're also going to do a how-to series with the guys from NaturKast that are flying down to help us do this project. And then we'll do, after this is finished, probably be in a few months where we have the countertops, we'll do a sort of a final walkthrough. But we're going to take you through the process of putting this thing together, and this will be probably an hour or 2 long. And then we'll do, like I said, a summary of how to do this stuff. So what we have on the truck is we have one hood. We're waiting on the second hood. It's back ordered. We have our grill, we have our cabinet array, and we have our Evo as well. So we're going to unload it before it rains here onto the deck, and I'm going to start working on this over the course of the next week. It's going to be awesome. Corner's gonna go here.
What, to scoot it?
Just to lift it. You can't scoot it. Okay. And then the big grill cabinet's going here. The Evo cabinet next to that. This one, which we'll do after we get the other cabinets past this. This one's gonna go on the end. So this is the end cap. So we have corner.
Oh, okay. This one goes against this wall, so.
Yeah, let's just put it down. I mean, it would make sense to get like most of it done, and then when the guy comes, we screw it together, you know? I think these are light. So it's nice that these are pretty light. You going first? Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna end up going that way, but all right, so when you get your cabinet array, obviously the first thing to do is to unbox it like you saw us do, inspect it, make sure there isn't any damage. Then you're gonna wanna go and double check, make sure you got everything that you ordered. Make sure you have your pilasters, make sure that none of the feet are broken, because you don't wanna have if you're gonna have somebody install it for you, you don't want them showing up, or you don't wanna plan your day and then you get halfway through and realize you're missing some stuff. So I think the smart thing to do is, when it shows up, unbox everything, kind of rough fit everything in place, make sure you got what you need. And we do. We were gonna do like a kind of a cherry wood finish, but then it would clash with this. So I generally don't like to do black cabinets because then they show more, but because of the wood grain, I think we're okay. So imagine you have this whole setup, dual hoods. We're gonna have a couple of like little round, tall bar stool type tables. One here, and then we're gonna put a regular, like a larger round table out here. And then this will kind of fill in and fit and have a use to this area instead of just being a big empty porch with nothing on it. If you put some patio furniture out here, we're never gonna sit out here, because you'd go down to the pool deck if you're gonna do that. So now the magic is the kitchen's right here, so you can walk right out. We can, go back and forth, and you can cook all your grilling stuff out here and go back and forth to the kitchen and the refrigerator. we don't have water here. We do have power, but we don't have water. We also have gas. So to put in things like put in like a ice maker or a sink, which would be nice, we don't have that without cutting holes in the wall and going crazy. So I say we'll just walk in and use the sink right inside. And so the Evo will come up here, and then the Evo that I have downstairs, I'll sell that, and we're gonna put an alfresco pizza oven downstairs where the Evo is in the little outdoor kitchen that the house currently has. That's gonna be pretty sick. We're clearly not gonna be able to completely finish this because we need to get our granite ordered and all that, but we're gonna be able to get a good sized dent in this. We're gonna get most of the wiring done, and one of the hoods up. We'll have it sort of plumbed up and ready. And then when we come back in March, we're gonna need to really kill it because we're gonna have to do the bunk room, and we're gonna have to do the hood and the ductwork as well for the other hoods. So we're gonna put in a solid week this week getting stuff done here. So these are our iron supports. These will be for the extension of the countertop. All right, so we probably have one too many here, but we got extra just in case. And so this is from a company called ironsupports.com. I need to reach out to them and become a dealer for these, because these things are freaking stout. Look at that. That's 3 of them, but. So then that'll go on the back side here. You know, I've got those trim pieces, but I'll go on the back side and then create our countertop space. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, you could probably squeeze 4 bar stools. So let's say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 4. So we'll be able to seat 12, you know, which is kind of what I'm calling this house, like a 12 person, you know, at maximum 12 people. You probably wouldn't want 12 people. But we'll have room to, you know, if I ever have some people over here, we'll have room to eat out here. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, we're getting ready for our install. So we're gonna make a home repo run. I've got some gas line fittings I need to get because we've got the Evo here, the grill going here. My plan is there's a gas line underneath. I'm gonna come up and come up through this cabinet more than likely and tee off, and we'll be able to have our appliance line go to each one of these. So we're gonna go get some stuff for that. I've got to get some screws, some shims. I've got to get some stuff for downstairs, another project we're doing while we're here. So we're gonna make a Home Depot run, but mainly we've got all the stainless steel screws we needed. I ordered those ahead of time. We've got our handles, we've got our longer screws to go through the composite into the handles. Tools needed, we've got our laser level, we've got our jig for installing the handles. I've got 2 foot, 4 foot level. We've got our corbels because we're gonna have this bar extend over with the granite extend over. So we've got our corbels that'll mount here. We've got to grab stainless steel bolts, 3.5 inch bolts for that, to go through the corbels and into the composite material. And then we've got some aluminum that we use on the back side. It's, I think we use 1.5 by 1/4 inch aluminum flat bar just as a backer so the bolts can't pull through. We've got electrical here too. So fortunately there was a TV here before, and we're gonna put our vent hoods side by side here, and they need power. So there is a receptacle up there. I'm probably gonna put a cover over that. I'm not sure if it's too high, too low, but anyway, I might move around and just cover that and make that a junction box and put a surface mounted outdoor box above the vent hoods. And then the plan was to run some spiral ductwork out from both hoods out and 90 up and put a cap on top rather than go through the roof, because it's standing seam roof and you can't pierce the seam with these. So we're gonna do that. What else is there? I think that's pretty much it. That covers it. So we're gonna head to Home Depot and get some stuff. And unfortunately, not getting cinnamon rolls. They're closed, still closed till April. All right, explanation of what we're doing here. So what I've got to tape running horizontally is what I'm gonna do is lay out for studs. So that way we know attachment points, because I don't wanna really screw into the sheeting. We can, but we need something substantial. So I know there's studs under the window. There's a king stud and a cripple stud under here, right? So we know, and I believe the center window's got a stud here, so we can easily lay that out, and then we'll have something to attach to. I'll cut a 2x for a cleat to screw to up top, and then we'll have to shim down below because there's an angle iron piece, structural piece for the deck underneath this drip edge here. So we can't cut this, so I'll have to shim this out probably 3/4 of an inch. I'll bring that out so we have something to screw to the bottom and the top, and that'll be stout. And then what we'll do on where the peninsula comes out, I end up probably screwing a cleat to the deck and then screwing that to the cleat, so that way if someone bumps that, it doesn't move and then crack some granite. So that's the plan. And what we did here is laid out for the hood. There's 2 hoods. There's 2 48-inch hoods, so it's 8 foot across, 8 foot a hood, and we have 102. So it's 4 inches off of each window. So center of hood will be center of that tape, and there's the outside of 48 inches. So what we decided to do is install the hoods and then this is 90 inches. So we'll center the 90 inches under the 96 rather than just centering the grill under one of these hoods. I think it's better to center that whole part of the array underneath the vent hoods.
I'm thinking I guess because we wanted the hoods together, but I'd almost like some sort of gap. I mean, there's going to be, because the grill's
42 and that's a 60-inch cap.
So we'll have a good 12 inches or so.
Let's see what it looks like. So what do we say? This is 60, right? No, it's not.
54, so
54,
48,
so that's 50, it's 48.
6 inches.
It's 42-inch grill, you said.
Yeah, 42-inch grill, yeah.
42, so that's 12 inches, so 6 inches aside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the edge of grill would be like here.
Yeah.
And then the Evo is here. But it
30. The Evo's 30.
Yeah. So it's 3 inches from the edge.
Yeah, so it's like this big.
Yeah, so you have 9 inches between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think in a future design,
you put another small cabinet between them, but you couldn't because of this.
Well, I would do two. I'd do the 60-inch hoods then. When you go from 48 to 60-inch hoods, though, it gets real pricey.
Well, we didn't have 120 inches here to put 2 60-inch hoods.
True. I'm just talking in another setup.
If we didn't have windows to constrain us, we could do that.
Yeah. Well, and if this was a little wider, then I would have staggered the Evo like over here or something. But I wanted the Evo to be under hood. We learned a lesson like at my house. Well, downstairs, the Evo, you get all the juice that then sprinkles down to the ground.
Yeah.
That the hood will get most of. And even at my house in Florida, even though the Evo doesn't make a big smoke plume, all of the fat, the oil and fat goes in the air.
Yeah, I know.
That the vent will capture a good chunk of.
Thought process right now is that we are thinking of centering the grill, the Evo grill or Evo cooktop, in the center of this vent hood. We've already centered the grill in the center of this vent hood, which would give us a roughly 3.25 inch gap here that we can fill with possibly some toe kick. I can build a filler in here.
I mean, you could just measure it.
Yeah. Well, we know we have to go however many linear feet this is. And this one goes all the way to the ground on this side.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40 feet.
Oh, shoot. We got plenty.
What would that look like if we...
We just have to cut one edge. It's going to be hidden because you'd tuck it back. Would you want it? I think you would tuck it back here.
Correct, yeah.
So it would be fine. You wouldn't see the ripped edge. Well, it gives us our symmetry over each one of the hoods, which is good. You're going to have a foot from the edge of the grill to the edge of the grill.
Yep.
Instead of 9 inches.
There.
Yeah, you can.
Speed.
Your scrapers.
Speed scraping.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now what?
Well, we can't install them yet because the guy's not here. I would like to do that right now, but we can. I'm gonna lay out the studs, figure out where those are. I'll cut up some wood for a cleat.
Are we gonna mount this hood?
I don't think so. I mean, we can, but I mean, we don't need to. Because what I was thinking of doing is actually making something to bolt the hoods to. I want to figure out, hood height. What did we say, 30 inches off top of counter?
Yep.
And those counters are 1.5 inches thick, I believe, or 1.25 inches. Where is that?
So what do we want to do now?
We'll eat some sushi.
I would have laid the 2x4s on there to make sure it was long enough.
You're a visual.
Apparently.
Yeah. Visual guy.
Apparently. Visual is another word for stupid.
I don't think so.
I'm a visual learner. No, you're stupid.
It's okay with you.
I think that's how it works. I'm not good at taking tests. Well, you're just dumb. You know, that's the way it goes.
I wasn't good at taking tests either. You know why? Because I didn't study.
Yeah, well, you're either dumb or unprepared or lazy.
Unprepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely. I admit it, 100%. I was too busy doing other things.
Not a good test taker. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
You got coffee and
very thing.
it's like they just.
Ooh, look at that. Thanks, Michael. That looks good.
Looks gross. It grosses me out.
Oh man, that's good.
Ugh. It's just the whole thing makes me think of stinky construction workers.
That's quality. See that? The shoe fits.
I just remember working for an electrician, and like that's all they did was drink coffee all day long.
Crappy
7-Eleven, yeah.
7-Eleven, yeah. Well, Mike and I are a little higher end than that. This is La Marzocca $6,000 coffee maker coffee.
And a Porsche cup.
We're a little bougie and a Porsche cup. We're a little bougie on the construction side. While you eat your organic Colby Jack sticks.
Not organic. The same thing.
Yeah. Isn't everything technically organic? Unless it's carbon.
How's this install going?
It's going well.
Good.
Really laid back install here. We're just kind of goofing around today until the guy from NaturKast gets here. We don't want to steal his thunder. We want to kind of get everything kind of set up where it's going, and then when he gets here, he can walk us through how they like to install it.
Perfect.
And we'll knock it out. Number one assistant with batteries here.
I think we'll put together a parts list after the end.
Yeah.
Just gonna lay everything out.
I got you. So use what we use and then show it. Makes sense.
Show it in the beginning.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, so what we did here is we've got a couple of cleats that we mount up top. The bottom kicks out because there's an angle iron here, so we didn't have to fur this cleat out as far as this one because this trim is here, and then the side, there's no trim up here. So what we did is put a 2x here, and then I ripped this top one, this one here, 1.25 inches thick. So we're overall we are, what is that, 1.25 inches plus 1.5 inches. So that's 2 3/4 inches out from the wall. And that gets us almost plumb. So if we bring the cabinets back, it's just enough room for us to stick a wedge shim back here, which will actually make the shim, the face of the shim, plumb the face of the back of the box of the cabinet. So it'll work out perfectly. So that's basically, we're prepped. That's all we really had to do. And we found studs. Stud lap was a little tricky out here, but we've got studs. Everything's screwed to the studs on the wall. So it's definitely not going anywhere. And the last, where the peninsula comes out, we'll end up putting a cleat on the deck and screwing that end of the peninsula to the cleat so that way it can't go anywhere. Yeah, so we're ready for install. Anything to add, Matt?
Nope. I didn't even sweat.
Yeah.
It's perfect weather. Like this is perfect
It's
working
like
weather.
58 degrees.
Not cold.
Not hot.
Not
I
hot.
was about to take my hoodie off too.
All the humidity got sucked out of here. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna mount the vent hoods now. We've got one we're waiting on, but in the meantime, I'm gonna get these mounted to the wall. So in order to do it, one edge of this is our center line vent hood will meet here, 2 of them will meet here. So this is what I'll mount one side of the vent hood on, which, because this has got siding, we need to fur this out. And what I'm gonna do is I've got some leftover material from when I fixed the garage. I'm gonna end up putting some cedar 2x in here and straight up, so we have something solid to mount the hood to, and then it'll be on the same plane. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Cut some siding, cut some cedar, get it sanded, installed, and then we can mount the hood. All right, so I've got the siding cut out to trim out with the cedar. This is gonna basically frame out both of the vent hoods. This is our vertical leg here, and then I've got a horizontal piece here that I had to notch. It goes here, and then I'll fill this back in with siding here. We're gonna do the same thing on that side. So I've got this all done. We'll get this screwed up. I'm gonna put trim some siding, tuck it up underneath, finish this off, and then rinse and repeat over there. And we set our depth here. Got all the cedar in to receive both vent hoods. We're gonna, I don't know, which side do you want to do first, Matt? You want to do the grill side? Yeah. So we'll probably do the one over the grill. Well, I'm gonna get all these screw holes filled and stain it, and then we can mount the hood. The hood's literally 2 or 4 screws. There's 2 clips on top that's got 2 screws each. We'll get that mounted, and then we're ready to start doing cabinets. Got it stained. As soon as the stain's dry, I'm going to caulk against the siding to the trim, and then we can mount our hood. That's about all there is to do for that. And then eventually, when we get the other hood, get that bolted up, and then I'll wire them in. So, and then we've got duct work to do as well, but that's next go around. So we wanted to get this part done just so we could get the framing in and have something to mount them to.
How does the ductwork go?
So the ductwork, yeah, we really haven't talked about it. So the ductwork, rather than going through the ceiling, and there's standing seam, it's a standing seam roof here. So the ductwork is 12 inches in diameter, and the seams are they're like 14 and a half inches apart, I think is what they were. Maybe they're 16, I can't recall, I have to go measure. But anyway, long story short, more than likely where the ductwork comes out, we can't pierce a seam where the standing seam is. You can't really do that, otherwise you're just asking for a leak. So what we decided, plus there's no real clearance up here, so what we're gonna do is come out from the top of the hoods. They're 2 8-inch ducts. I think they're 8s or 6s. Anyway, into a 12, spiraled 12-inch duct, solid ductwork out, 90 up, put a cap on it. So it'll look kind of like a commercial kitchen. So I think it'll look cool. And we may or may not paint it. Matt might want to leave it galvanized, but we could always paint it brown if we wanted to. But anyway, that's the next trip. So can't really do that now until we get the other hood in. So at least all the framework's in, we can get that one mounted, and then the ductwork will be next time when we come back in March, I think.
Late start, early quitting. This is the OG spec here.
Very relaxed this trip.
Yeah.
This is when you know it's coming together, when you're not waking up stressed out like, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, well, because every other time I've been here, I had like 35 other things that I knew wasn't going to get done, but I felt like maybe we could get it done.
We've killed it every single time we've been here.
Yeah. Now you keep killing it, and I'll just do nothing.